2000.
It's our 2000 subscribers special, and I have news that just can't wait, so we're going to have a special episode today of EverQuest Next Ramp Up. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Geekdomo. Okay, today we're celebrating over 2,000 subscribers. We went up 1,000 subscribers in under a month. That's pretty epic and pretty awesome, and I love all of you guys. I really do. It's really an honor to be making videos for you guys, so thank you. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the news. Last night, MJ Guthrie released The Tattered Notebook, Quips, Quotes, and EQ Next Tidbits from SOE Live. I'm going to go ahead and put the article in the description below so you'll be able to click on it and read it for yourself, but we're going to cover some news that he has released that I have not yet found anywhere else, and that is pretty epic. Because all of us are grasping at every little bit of news that we can about this game, and coming up this week is Gamescom, and until then, I think this will hold us over for some brand new news. Alright, the first thing we're going to cover, on starting areas. Where will people start in the game? For EverQuest Next Landmark, franchise director Jorgensen, oh god, see, you know I am with names, explained there will be different starting areas to help spread the population out, but for EverQuest Next, new players will be dropped in the area of the current rallying call. This is so new players can become part of the action immediately, as well as be among other players. Imagine if the game's first rallying call were to build Kinos, but after a year we had moved along to Halas, and Kinos was populated by very angry dragons. Talk about the ultimate newbie trap. Dropping a new player there would not be very beneficial to retention. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so let's talk about that. I know that most people were saying, I don't want to start in Kinos, it's so boring, or blah blah, whatever. They want to start in their own faction city, and I, to some extent, agree with that. I really do. But for them to just drop people into the current rallying call kind of makes some sense. It gives you a starting point. You actually feel like you're part of the game and you're doing something important. So yeah, sounds cool. Next topic, on getting involved in the game. On top of starting where the action is, different systems allow and encourage you to participate even from the get-go. Producer Terry Michaels stated that one of the things we really want is for players to contribute immediately. Georgeson noted that including participating in rallying calls regardless of where you are physically or even knowing that you're actually contributing. Folks who choose to wander to the other side of the world instead of hanging out in a particular event site, say building Halas, can still be helping it along by a chain of events initiated by the choices they make. Rallying call progression can also be triggered by a number of events, not just one. With different events triggering on each server, the history and story of how things came to be will definitely vary from world to world. That is pretty damn cool. We were talking about that before in another episode, that sites like Wowhead are going to have a really hard time tracking what triggers are going to make the event go. And they're just basically saying that here right now. Alright, on stylized graphics, Dave Georgian said, I like the stylized approach because basically what it does is set us up to have a 15 or 20-year-old game because we can keep upping the graphics level with better physics, better lighting, better all that stuff, but keep that look. It will last a long time that way, because we can exploit the IP in different ways too. If somebody decided he wanted to do a comic book or animated series or something like that, that would really work with the other stuff. It makes a lot of sense. We talked about this in detail before. I'm not going to go into it too much right now, but Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny came out in 1932, 33, something like that. I forget the exact year, but a long time ago, right? And you can still watch a Bugs Bunny cartoon and get a chuckle and laugh, and it doesn't look old, even though it was recorded a long time ago. In the lore panel, devs talked about using lore in other medium. So could Georgeson have been hinting at specific plans in the works? On EQ Next Landmark versus EQ Next, while having two separate hit games would be great with Georgeson, he says we are serious about Landmark being the gateway to EverQuest Next. We really want it to be the vehicle by which everybody gets to help us build that next big virtual world. Tomorrow we're going to have a show talking about EverQuest Next Landmark, so let's tune into that one tomorrow. On seafaring transportation, while sitting with creative director Jeff Butler, senior art director Rosie Rappaport, and senior global brand manager Omid Dariani, did I get it? I posed a question they had not prepared for in all of the upcoming panels. I asked about intercontinental travel, specifically ships. Dariani commented, could we confirm ship battles? No, was the extremely swift reply from Butler, who did confirm that there are boats. Were they just pulling my leg with the battle comment in the spirit of jovial mood, or did something slip out they shouldn't have? In time, we will know. On crafting and economy, we're really serious about making this an economy that matters for players. Georgeson emphasized to me, we want to set up a system in which crafters are really important, that all the players eventually come to crafters and talk to them. More details soon, please. Yes, I'm a crafter. I love crafting in MMOs, so I want to hear all about it. The more info, the better. Okay, this one is really new, and I hadn't heard anything about this prior, so this is cool. On ramification of personal choice, here's another interesting tidbit about how personal choice affects the player. We already know that past actions can affect what's available to you, but the game will also guide you to those activities you've demonstrated that you prefer to participate in. We will have this book called a row song, and it has all kinds of tips and hints in it. We know what you've done in the past. We know that you've done a bunch of crafting, or done a bunch of exploring, or done a bunch of combat, and what we're going to do through the row song is give you tips and hints on how to get more of the stuff you've already shown us that you like to play. We'll be guiding you into areas of the world where you might find that stuff. Nice. So if you're a type of player loves PvP, the book is basically going to say this is where you go to do your PvP. Or if you really, really love to do crafting, it's going to guide you and say, okay, these are the best crafting areas. You might want to go here or there or whatever. It's going to guide you. So that is neat. Had not heard about Rosong before this. All right, on combat. Will combat be tab targeting or what? There was no definitive answer, but Georgeson did say that if you swing a weapon, it will hit whatever is in the arc of the swing, landscape included. He also said, we're not going to build a game that supports one-button macroing. I know what they're aiming at for right there. Okay. I did hear this before, so this is not necessarily big news, but yeah, so as long as you're swinging the sword, whatever's in front of you, you're going to hit. On tiers, this has been kind of confusing to several people, and I'm glad he covered it here in this article. On tiers, while trying to get a handle on the new concepts of EverQuest Next, some folks latched onto the term tiers as a substitute for levels. Georgeson, however, explained that the two are not just interchangeable terms for the same idea. Tier does not equate to power level. It means capability. Higher tiers mean that players will have a handle on how the game is played, from how to do combat to how to manipulate their skills to make various builds. It also means that they have a more robust selection of skills, giving them more flexibility to deal with situations. Unlocking tiers is a matter of demonstrating you know what's going on in the game, and moving up tiers is not going to be a laborious process. Georgeson stated, unlocking them is a matter of days and weeks, not years. Interesting. Last little bit we'll cover on the intelligence of AI. Storybricks co-AI lead Dave Mark noted that the AI can be turned up or down, making some mobs more intelligent and others less so. Along those same lines, during the QA sessions, devs emphasized that really big boss fights are not necessarily going to be against stronger mobs, but they will be smarter mobs. The boss will be harder to fight because it will more rapidly react to the actions of players who must then adjust their tactics mid-fight. That is cool. So the normal scripted boss fight where you run in and at 2 seconds he does this maneuver, and when he gets to 20% health he does this maneuver, out the window from what they're saying. Basically, you go in and you start catching it on fire, it decides to go run and jump in the lake to put itself out, and it comes back out and starts fighting you again. It's going to be reacting to all the different variables that are going on, not necessarily a pre-scripted thing, and that is one of the most powerful parts of EverQuest Next that we really, really are excited about. Okay, so that has been our little episode from today. I hope this news is cool and interesting to you, because it was really cool and interesting to me, and I thank Mr. MJ Guthrie for putting this out. And like I said, the link to this article, if you want to read the entire thing, will be in the description below. So until next time, everybody, this has been Geekdomo. I will say, see ya. Now's the time when I, Geekdomo, can rest and get some... Hey, Elf, what do you think you're doing?
You're not so tough, Geekdomo.
Well, I'll have to disagree with you there, Mr. Elf, because I am Geekdomo, the mightiest domo in all of the land, and Kung Fu Master. As you will see, I will teach you a lesson. Coming up today on Geekdomo, we check out enemies. Oh, it's you again. What are you doing? This is my show. I am you, so just knock it off. Hello and welcome to Geekdomo. Okay, today we're looking at mobs the different levels that they have and how you can fight them. This fly that I'm fighting right now, his name is Blue, and his